Modern horror has a volume problem. We've all sat through the predictable dead silence, the slow pan, and the inevitable shrieking monster lunging at the lens. We've seen it so many times that the adrenaline hit has vanished. Terrifying a modern audience requires more than just high-frequency sound stingers. It requires a fundamental understanding of what happens when the jump scares stop working. Damian McCarthy's Hokum arrived this year as the definitive answer to that problem. Critics and audiences alike have walked out of theaters visibly rattled, calling it the most effectively scary film of 2026. Before we dismantle the specific mechanics of this film, hit subscribe to join us as we deconstruct the year's biggest cinematic moments. McCarthy treats horror as a clinical exercise in psychological breakdown. He systematically dismantles every defense the audience brings into the theater, using the protagonist as his primary tool. The geography of the film is a trap, the Bilberry Woods Hotel. It's a remote, inescapable inn hidden in the Irish countryside, where the protagonist travels to scatter his parents' ashes. That protagonist is Ohm Bauman. He's played by Adam Scott, an actor most of us know for his comedy work, or as the affable sweetheart in Parks and Recreation. Here, Scott is a miserable, abrasive cynic. Ohm is a novelist who writes nihilistic epics in the vein of Cormac McCarthy, and he treats the Hokum. This abrasive personality is a deliberate setup. By denying us a sympathetic hero, McCarthy forces the audience to feel intense anxiety for a man they don't even like. We are isolated alongside him, left with no emotional safety net. McCarthy's most potent cinematic weapon is patience. He builds the structural framework of a jump scare, then intentionally stretches the timeline to deny the audience any release. In one sequence, a character holds a flickering lighter into the pitch-black void of the honeymoon suite's corridor. The camera holds this shot for an agonizing duration. It forces you to lean in and scan the shadows, turning you from a spectator into an active participant looking for the threat. Denying the immediate payoff of a scare makes the audience's own brain manufacture the terror. It creates an exhausting, compounding level of dread that lingers long after the scene ends. Editor Brian Philip Davis utilized what he calls the alien approach, the editorial philosophy that a monster is only terrifying as long as it remains obscured. This is the engine behind the dumbwaiter sequence. Ohm is chased by the witch from the basement tunnels up into the bridal suite, a scene Davis described more as an action sequence than traditional horror. This hotel room schematic shows how the environment acts as a shield. The dumbwaiter and canopy bed create solid barriers. Through fuzzy curtains and speed ramps, the witch is reduced to rapid blind spots. We see movement, but never a clear shot of the threat. This restraint is more effective than any CGI reveal. Your imagination will always fill those blind spots with a version of the monster far more frightening than anything a director could put on screen. While the witch provides the supernatural chills, the film's real impact comes from a very human evil living inside the hotel walls. The manager, Mal, is initially presented as a dopey side character, but he eventually emerges as the film's most active antagonist. Mal's horror is grounded in reality. He drugged his pregnant lover and locked her inside to die, simply to protect his social reputation. Juxtaposing this cold, calculated psychopathy against ancient folklore makes the supernatural elements feel dangerously real. It suggests that the ghosts are merely reacting to the darkness humans bring with them. The true genius of Hokum lies in its thematic core. The hotel isn't just a physical space. It's a machine designed to process human guilt. Ohm's cynical exterior hides a traumatic childhood secret. While playing with his father's gun, he accidentally shot and killed his own mother. The Bilberry Woods Hotel doesn't just haunt its guests. It weaponizes these specific, repressed memories, turning a character's own psychological regrets into a physical attack. In the final act, Ohm reaches the climax, cornered and physically defenseless. He has no weapons and no clever escape plan left. He finds safety through absolute emotional surrender. After years of bitterness, a tearful apology to his mother's spirit provides the exact supernatural tool required to break the witch's hold. The witch herself serves as a force of nature, a manifestation of death that can be warded off with chalk and folklore, but never truly escaped. In this story, death is a constant, but it is the unacknowledged guilt of the living that gives the monster its power. Damian McCarthy has crafted an experience that reflects the audience's own internal struggles back at them. The film forces you to confront the regrets you've been trying to keep in the dark. What was the last movie that made you look that closely at your own fears?